I wasn't very long into my first appointment out of seminary when I was at the gym at the YMCA working out. I hadn't been a member there for very long. And I ran into a congregant, somebody that I knew and recognized from church but didn't know really well. And we got to chatting, and I've always been something of a gym rat. It's been a stress relief. And I'd mentioned to him that I was going to try and work out some number of days a week. And when I saw him on that next Sunday at church, he said, you said something that offended me. And I panicked. I thought, oh my gosh, here I am, fresh out of seminary, and I've already offended a church member, and I have no idea how or why. He told me, you said that you were going to try to get into the gym. He said, don't try, just do it. Kind of sounds like a Nike commercial, doesn't it? Do it. You have to actually take that step forward and get to the gym and do the working out. I've been thinking this week that the same thing is true for our spiritual practices. The advice that Howard gave is equally valid for that. You have to do it. One of the most challenging things about starting a new discipline is actually taking that first step, doing it for the very first time, especially if it's a new experience. If you're not used to contemplative prayer, if you're not used to journaling or fasting or devotional readings, sometimes it's hard to kind of break off the dime and actually do that. The old proverb, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. The journey of a lifetime moving toward God begins with the first step that we take toward God. If you're having trouble taking the first step in a spiritual practice during this season of Lent, especially if it's a new one, there's a couple of different things that you could do. One thing is stop watching this video right now and just go and do it, okay? You have my permission. Stop watching. A second thing that you could do is especially if you're a scheduler, make an appointment with yourself. Put it on your calendar. Make the time and then keep that appointment. Those are pretty straightforward and simple things, and there's probably 100 different other ways to do it. How you take that first step, what you need to do to make it easier for you to take that first step isn't as important as actually just taking that first step. One of the things that I do as a spiritual practice is walk a labyrinth anytime that I can. Today I'm here at the University of Redlands, and in the chapel behind me, or behind the chapel that you see, is a labyrinth. For me, a labyrinth has always been a very intentional exercise of journeying to the heart of God. It takes twists and turns, and sometimes the paths are long and sometimes the paths are short. Sometimes you turn left, sometimes you turn right. But it's an exercise in that step-by-step practice, and knowing that each step you take gets you closer to the heart of God. That was something that I learned many, many years ago, and even to this day, it continues to be an important reminder about my own spiritual life. And as long as I've been doing this, the advice to not just try, but do it, and to take it each step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, even when I don't feel like I want to do it, still make that time to sit down and to be with God, using whichever practice works best for you. This is what Lent is about. Another lesson in how we take this gift of time and use it to grow closer to God, that we may understand ourselves, our world, our God, and our discipleship even better. Blessings for you on this week and on your ongoing Lenten journey.